Hello everyone, and welcome to our team building exercise where we create a hero team using the Sentinel Comics role-playing game. Last episode we kinda cheated a little bit and we didn't quite make a hero, we made a side character. But I think we are gonna make an actual hero this time. We're gonna go ahead and start rolling with our backgrounds. We've got 6 and 8. So if you're following along in the PDF, that would be law enforcement, tragic, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, anachronistic. I think anachronistic suits us just fine, so we can have someone like a legend from a long time ago come up to modern day. Maybe even a fossil, like a living fossil. I like that. So I'll meet you at an anachronistic. And here we are at an anachronistic. We get a D10 and a D8. D10, assuming I can type in 10, D8. And we get them in 2 different qualities: history, magical lore, technology, and physical quality. So physical qualities would be acrobatics, close combat, finesse, fitness, ranged combat, and stealth. If they are from the past, history makes a lot of sense, but it also kind of makes sense that they don't know much about human history. They just know, oh, this was my life before I got to this time. We could give them technology if they're cryptic from the future, because anachronistic goes both ways, both in the past and the future. We have to give him, well, we don't have to give him, but it would make sense to give him stealth, because he is not from this time, so he's used to hiding from modern era. I think we give him stealth at a D8. Let's just say he's a dinosaur. Dinosaurs, back in the day, they weren't sentient, but this particular dinosaur became sentient when he traveled through time in one way or another, however he got here. Okay, so history doesn't make sense because he doesn't know much about our history. He knows his life was what it was when he got there. Finesse or fitness? I'm thinking fitness. Yes. So I'm thinking he was a raptor. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. He was a raptor. So we're getting an esoteric principle. So background or principle esoteric. And we get a D10, a D8, and a D6 for our power source selection. So I'll meet you down there. And we're here at power sources. We're going to go ahead and roll. We've got 1, 2, and 6. So that's accident, training, nature. That would also be genetic, relic, and powered suit. Nature, I think, makes the most sense that he gets his powers. Well, no. He's not a nature creature. Huh. You know what? No, yes. Nature gave him his powers and his sentience before he got flung through time. Or maybe he's not a dinosaur. He's definitely a cryptid from the past He's not a dinosaur. Or maybe he is a dinosaur and he has genetic powers. You know what? He was a dinosaur from the past. He was brought to the future, genetically engineered, and spliced and DNA'd. Oh, you know what? He's not even from the past. He was created in a lab from his DNA. So, yeah, genetic makes sense. So I'll meet you at genetic. So we have genetic. We've got a D10, a D8, and a D6 to our different powers. So D10, D8, D6. And we've got agility, flight, signature weaponry, strength, vitality, an intellectual power, and a psychic power. Intellectual would be awareness, deduction, intuition, lightning calculator, and presence. And psychic would be animal control, illusions, precognition, postcognition, remote viewing, suggestion, telekinesis, and telepathy. I like the idea that... Okay, so let's hammer this out. This was a dinosaur that was made in a lab in the future. And he didn't like... Or no, from the present. We'll say he's from he was made in a lab in the present, but anachronistic makes sense because he's still a living fossil. Okay. But I like also the idea that he's the smartest person in the group. So he's this genius raptor. Maybe not even genius, but like intellectual raptor. So we will give him deduction and lightning calculator at D8 and D6. So deduction, lightning calculator. Okay. So we need our D10 power. We could just say that it's strength, because he's a dinosaur. He's a raptor. Raptors are, I think, pretty strong. Are they D10 strong? Tell you what, we'll move deduction up to D10, and we'll put strength at D8. We get 2 yellow abilities, each using a different power. Danger Sense. When damaged by an environment target or a surprise attack, defend by rolling your single power die. Adaptive. Boost using your power, then either remove a penalty on yourself or recover using your min die. And Area Assault. Attack multiple targets using power, using your min die against each. I like Danger Sense and Adaptive because it fits our intelligent raptor concept better. Danger Sense is a reaction. It's got to use a power, so I'll say Danger Sense uses lightning calculator. And adaptive is an action, and it uses deduction. We also get a green ability, Growth and Rally. Growth. Boost yourself using quality. The bonus is persistent and exclusive. And Rally. Attack using quality. Other nearby heroes in the yellow or red zone recover equal to your min die. I like Growth with stealth because they are raptors. Raptors were kind of hiding from the bushes and waiting for their prey. So he has that instinct in him. So Growth is an action using stealth. I can spell stealth. Anyway, we get a D10, a D8, and another D8 for our archetype selection. So I'll meet you down there. Alright, and we're rolling. Assuming I don't drop my dice. We've got 6, 8, and 10. So that would be close quarters combat, flyer, robot or cyborg, which would be kind of cool to have a robot genius raptor. 6 plus 8 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. So that'd be minion maker. We already have a minion maker. 8 plus 10 would be 18, so that's reality shaper. And 6 plus 10 would be form changer. I'm thinking it's either close quarters combat, because he's a raptor, or it's robot or cyborg, because that's cool. But let's stick with the Occam's razor and just say he's a raptor and not a raptor cyborg. When we'll go with close quarters combat. You know what? Let's just use our reroll. Because... No, you know what? Let's not use our reroll. But we will go with robot or cyborg. Because that's interesting. So, I'll meet you at robot or cyborg. Okay, so we're here at robot and cyborg. After our indecision of what to do. We assign one or more of the dice that we rolled at the end of power source step to any of these powers. Signature vehicle, signature weaponry, an athletic power, so that'd be agility, speed, strength, and vitality. An intelligence power, so that'd be awareness, deduction, intuition, lightning calculator, and presence. A mobility power, flight, leaping, momentum, swimming, swinging, teleportation, and wall crawling. Self-control, so that's absorption, density control, duplication, elasticity, intangibility, invisibility, part attachment, shape-shifting, and size changing. Or technological, so that'd be gadgets, inventions, power suit, or robotics. Okay, so I like power suit as a power. So, and in fact, I'm going to put that at a D10 because for a cyborg Raptor, the power suit is kind of their big deal. So that would be power suit. So we have 2d8. We could assign them to further powers, or we could assign them to information or mental qualities. So it would be criminal underworld info, deep space knowledge, history, magical lore, medicine, otherworldly mythos, science, and technology. Mental would be alertness, conviction, creativity, investigation, and self-discipline. So let's give him science and alertness at D8s. Because he's supposed to be the intelligent raptor, after all. Now this might be a little too gimmicky, in my opinion. But it's not chupacabra gimmicky. Anyway, we also get a D10 to a technological power that we don't already possess. So, D10 gadgets, inventions, power suit, or robotics. Gadgets, because he can always pull something out of his robot suit and throw a gadget out at him. Okay, we get 2 of the following green abilities using 2 different powers. Adaptive programming. Boost yourself using power and defend with your min die. Metal skin. Reduce the amount of physical damage taken by 1 while in the green zone, 2 while in the yellow zone, and 3 while in the red zone. I like metal skin, so we'll go ahead and get that. That's an inherent. Doesn't use any powers. Limiting arsenal. Attack using power with a bonus equal to the number of bonuses you currently have. Self-improvement. Boost yourself using power. The boost is persistent and exclusive. And something for everyone. Attack using power. Use your mid die to attack 1 extra target for each bonus you have. Apply a different bonus to each attack. Let's go ahead and get Living Arsenal. Living Arsenal with a power. Lightning Calculator. Or you know what? Deduction. Right, we gain 1 of the above abilities as a yellow ability. Okay. I guess something for everyone? I think we are going to go ahead and go with... Do we want to say gadgets? Sure, we'll go with gadgets. We get an expertise principle. So, principle of expertise. When determining health during step 7, you can use a technological power instead of an athletic or mental quality. Okay, nice. And then we roll for our personality page. So, I will meet you at personality. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and roll. We've got 7 and 4. So that'd be 4 is mischievous, 7 is stalwart, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is stoic. So, not mischievous, so stoic or stalwart. I suppose we will go with stoic. So I'll scroll on down to that. Or we could use our reroll, because we haven't used our reroll, despite how we were debating to use our reroll before. Yeah, let's use our reroll. I'm really hoping for analytical. We've got 7 and 10. So that's still stalwart, that's alluring, and that's naive. Do we want to say that they're naive? That they don't know how humans function all the time? He's smart, but he's naive. Okay, we'll go with naive. So let me scroll on down to naive. Okay, so we make up a quality based on our hero's backstory and assign it a D8. D8. I guess living fossil. We get a out ability. Hinder an opponent by rolling your single power die. Let's go with, I guess, deduction. Or gadgets. Gadgets makes more sense. Okay. And we get a D6, a D6, and a D12 for our status. And then we get 2 red abilities. So, before I move on, I think this is perhaps one of our gimmickiest characters. I mean, not on paper, but he's a robot cyborg. That is kind of outlandish. But do we want to say he is part of the team at first, or do they enlist him after the fact? Like, they find him lost after he escapes from the lab? I think so. So he's not in the first issue. He's a later edition. Okay, I like that. Right, we scroll down to the red abilities. Athletic powers. Major regeneration, Paragon feat, push your limits, and reactive strike. I don't think any of those. We don't have any elemental or energy power, so we can skip that. We don't have any hallmark powers. We have intellectual powers. Calculated dodge. You can take 1 irreducible damage to reroll the dice pool of a target that is attacking or hindering you. Give time. Boost another hero using power. If the hero has already acted on for the turn, use your max die and the hero loses health equal to your min die. That hero acts next in the turn order. Reliable aptitude. When taking any action using power, you can reroll your min die before determining effects. Reliable aptitude with lightning calculator or deduction. That'd be pretty good. Unerring strike. Attack using power. Use your max and min die. Ignore all penalties on this attack, ignore all defend actions, and it cannot be affected by reactions. Let's go ahead and get reliable aptitude with deduction. And I'm thinking the other red ability is an actual hitting ability. We can skip materials, we can skip mobility. We don't have any psychic, so we can skip that. Self-control, we don't have any self-control. Technological. So, combustion. Attack multiple nearby targets using max plus min die against each. Take irreducible damage equal to your min die. Final Wrath. Attack using power using max plus min die. Take a major twist. Full Defense. Hinder yourself by rolling your single power die. You are immune to damage until the start of your next turn. You cannot use this ability again in this scene. Ultimate Weaponry. Boost using power. Use your max die. The bonus is persistent and exclusive. Then attack using your mid die plus that bonus. I think we're going to go with Ultimate Weaponry. Unload. Attack multiple targets using power, using your max plus min die. If you roll doubles, take a minor twist or damage equal to your mid die. Yeah, we'll go with Ultimate Weaponry. And we will use Power Suit. No gadgets. Yeah, Power Suit. We'll go with Power Suit. Okay, so we will go on to the Principles pages. I will meet you there. Okay, and we're here at Principles, and before we move on, I said before, this character, who we haven't even named, doesn't start off with the party. He joins in at a later issue. I'm thinking that the comic book writers made this team of monsters to go, oh, look at how spooky they are, and wanted to tell like horror stories. But then they realized after the fact, oh, well, A, this isn't really horror so much as weird, and B, this is getting some popularity. So let's try and add something that has merchandisable material. So then they added this robot dinosaur to the mix in order to sell toys. So they didn't really put that much thought into his personality until later into the issues. So while we are going to look on their principles, we don't have to look too deeply because he doesn't start off with deep principles. That being said, esoteric principles, principle of destiny, principle of elemental energy, principle of exorcism, principle of fauna. So fauna for like animals, like prehistoric animals. Principle of flora, principle of the future, principle of immortality, principle of the inner demon, principle of magic. Not principle of the future, because we decided against him being from the future. He's not from the future, he's from present day. Principle of the sea, principle of space, principle of the time traveler. You know what? Principle of the time traveler fits quite well, because even though he didn't travel through time, he never actually lived in the past. He still has this expectation of, oh, well, I belong in the past. So principle of the time traveler. Okay. And we have expertise principles. Principle of clockwork, principle of the gearhead, principle of history, principle of indestructible. So I don't like principle of history because he doesn't have any any contacts in the archaeological fields. He could be principal of clockwork to figure out how his stuff works together. Moving on, though. Principal of the lab, principal of mastery, principal of the mentor. We've got principal of the powerless, principal of science, principal of speed, principal of stealth, principal of strength. I like science because he was grown in lab. He grew up in that atmosphere. Principal of tactician and principal of whispers. Okay, principal of science. Right. Principal of the time traveler and principal of science. Everything else is just adding things up together. I think he is going to have the most health out of all the heroes because he's going to use technological power at a D10. He's going to have a D12 for his health. So that's already 22. That's almost reaching everyone else's health. In addition to the 8 and the 4. So 22, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 32, 34. He's going to have more health than everyone else because he's in the 30s. Huh. So, yes, I will meet you guys after I write everything up. So, we've typed everything up, and I've noticed that we did not use our retcon step to choose out of our principles, and we cannot use our retcon step to increase our red status die because it's already at a D12. So, we could either get another red ability, or we could swap dice around in our qualities or powers. And I'm thinking we swap dice around on our powers, and we switch power suit with living calculator, or gadgets with living calculator, excuse me. So, gadgets is a D6, lightning calculator is a D10, and I think that is it for our character. We just need to give him a name. I guess we should call her something clever. Him, her. I don't... You know what? First off, is it a him or a her? I think this is a her. Okay. So what is her name? It could be... Is it a human name given to her? Or did she come up with her own reptilian name? I think that she was given a name, and her name is Dorothy. Yes, Dorothy... the Raptor Cyborg. Okay. And I think that's about wrapping it up for our team. Next episode is going to be our villains. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.